Hello, cyclocross fans, and welcome back to the show. Who's number one? Week number, honestly, I've lost track at this point in the season, but a very good week to get to nonetheless. Now, last week it wasn't a typical show. We did predictions and not rankings, and this week, rankings are pretty unnecessary. The riders this past weekend at the National Championships, they answered that question for themselves. The results are out there. Those would be your rankings for this week. So, with no further ado, your Who's Number One awards show. First up, your Rookie of the Year. Now, on the men's side, it goes to not really a rookie to the sport of cyclocross, but his first year in the big leagues, the senior ranks, and that is Logan Owen. Podiums at the UCI level and wins his first U23 national championship. On the women's side, it is Emma White, still not even in the senior ranks, a junior rider to this day, but her first year competing against the best, and as a 16, 17-year-old, wins her first ever UCI race. The comeback of the year goes to the Cal Giants Specialized rider, Rachel Lloyd, a Worlds team member back in 2009, effectively retires from the sport, a mother now, comes back at CXLA, podiums at the highest level, goes to Bend, has a good top 10 ride, caps it off with a 7th place at the National Championships. The Rookie of the Year next year, should they continue racing cyclocross, will be Brian Alders. Just capped off the year with a top 20 ride at the National Championships after very little cyclocross this season and even less training. Bringing it back to the show now, the Jump of the Year. We used to do the Jump of the Week. Let's talk about the season as a whole. The two riders with the biggest improvement on the women's side, Elle Anderson. On the men's side, it was Stephen Hyde. These are two riders you probably didn't even know their names last season. This year, both of them at one point throughout the season standing on the top step of the UCI podium. On that same note, the top free agent of the year, as in the rider at the end of the year who would be most deserving of a pro, well-paying, take them everywhere around the country contract. On the men's side, that goes to Anthony Clark of the Jam Fund. If you guys saw the Behind the Barriers episode with him, you know there is not a rider who works harder in their real job, in their real life, and would benefit more from a pro contract, a full-time bike racer career than Anthony Clark. On the women's side, that goes to the California rider, Amanda Nauman. She's already been a national champion this season on the mountain bike side of things. In the amateur category, came into a great cyclocross season, got better every week, capping it off with a 13th place ride at the national championships. Give her a contract, give Anthony a contract. These are the riders of the future. Moving on to the rider that has a pro, well-paying, take-them-everywhere contract, but not for cyclocross, but should because they're very good at cyclocross and they try, but they can't get to all the races because their other job won't allow them and they're better at cyclocross than what they do during the summer. That award would go to Raphael Gagne of Canada, the mountain biker, and our favorite road rider, Amanda Miller. The Whole Shot King, Tobin Ortenblad. The Whole Shot Queen, Nicole Duke. The rider most likely to fade after the first lap, Tobin Ortenblad. The rider most likely to fade after the first lap, female, Nicole Duke. The How the F*** Did That Just Happen award. For the women, that goes to Elle Anderson. Day number 1 in Providence. Skip ahead to that last half of a lap. It's Elle Anderson with Katie Compton on her wheel in the drops, comes onto the pavement and out sprints your 10-time national champion, becoming the first ever U.S. woman to beat Katie Compton. On the men's side, it was just this past weekend with Alan f***ing Krugoff goes top 5 at the national championships, putting the pedal to the floor and dropping your defending national champion. The way to make me go and look like a huge idiot when it comes to predicting your finish at Nationals award. For the men, that goes to Jake Wells. Jake, I picked you 20th. You were my dark horse. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if you had finished 35th. Then you went and popped off a 13th place finish, reminding me that I am indeed a huge idiot. On the women's side, that honor goes to Ellen Noble. I also picked her 20th. She was my dark horse, and not only did she make me look like an idiot finishing 12th, but she called me an idiot to my face 2 days before the race when she told me she would finish 12th. I assured her that no, she would not finish better than 20th, that was her ceiling when it came to finishing results at the national championships, and then she finished 12th. Ellen, I am a huge, huge idiot. Moving on now to the family-friendly awards. First up, the Father of the Year. The best dad in all of cyclocross goes to you, Greg Keller. Not only for what you do with your own 2 sons, but for all the boys and girls on the Boulder Junior Cycling team, and realistically for all of us lucky enough to call you a friend. The Mother of the Year goes to Linda Keough, helping her 5 boys race cyclocross at the highest level. The brother of the year goes to Jesse Anthony, not only a great cyclocross rider in his own right, but what he has done this year for his sister as a coach, Crystal Anthony, helping her have the best season ever and make the world's team. The sister of the year probably goes to Julie Bruno, as in Mo Bruno Roy's twin sister, if for no other reason than that hilarious DirtWire.tv interview. The husband of the year goes to Mark Legg Compton, not only the full-time mechanic, the full-time soigneur, pretty much the full-time everything that helps Katie Compton compete at the highest level in the world. And the best wife of the year, obviously my wife, Debbie McElwain. I love you, honey. But the second best wife of the year goes to Felicia Marion, the wife of Robert Marion. I see a lot of family members out at the bike races. Nobody is more excited to be there, more passionate about the sport and how their husband is doing in the race than you are, Felicia. The rider most likely to crash themselves out of a race, Jeremy Duran. The rider most likely to be crashed out of a race by Jeremy Duran, Zach McDonald. The most likely team to crash their team truck on the way home from a race is Cannondale, prepared by Cyclocross World. The best team kit of the year, well, I would go with Emily Kachorik for that one on style points, but I would go with Mo Bruno Roy for the Bob's Red Mill 17 kit for the damn girl, you make that look good. The worst team kit of the year goes to anybody still racing cross in bibs and a jersey, hashtag skin suit to windsuit. The best beard of the year goes to Robert Marion, hashtag fear the beard. The worst beard of the year goes to Ellen Noble. It's just not even there. The best run-up, that one goes to Mount Crumpet at Iowa's Jingle Cross. The best runner-up goes to Ben Bairden. That guy is always second. The most likely to run up your tab at the bar post-race would be Troy Wells. And the most likely to run up behind you in a dark alley and steal your purse is Helen Wyman. You wouldn't think so, but she is a notorious criminal. Getting down now to the good stuff, the best course of the year. Well, Cross Vegas probably does the most with what they have. Providence usually makes for some of the best head-to-head racing. Jingle Cross, no doubt, the most fun course, but the best all-around course, the World Championship caliber venue, goes to the Valmont Bike Park at the National Championships. The best race promoter of the year. This one's tough. There's a lot of good ones out there. We have Brooke Watts, obviously, Cross Vegas. We have Chris, John, Mitch, Paul, Dot, Brad, but the one name that rises to the top for me this season is the Providence Cyclocross Festival race promoter, race director, whatever you want to call him, Richard Fries. The best race of the year overall goes to Cross Vegas. The best race of the year overall, as in the actual head-to-head racing, goes to Gloucester Men's Race Day 1. It was the first time we saw Tim Johnson really step up this year. Jamie Driscoll was good. Jeremy Powers had to come from behind. Check it out. The best race this year that was not a C1 that should be a C1 next year is the Full Moon Vista Cross in Rochester, New York. The race this year that should have been a race but wasn't even a race is you, Austin, Texas. Less than 12 months now until you host the national championships and you have still yet to hold an event. WTF. The best race series this year was the Cross Crusade Series up in the Northwest, but the best race calendar was the USA Cycling Pro CX calendar, something like 40 races, $40,000 in prize money. Every single race mattered. It was awesome. The best team bike goes to Katie Compton and her Trek Boon 9. The best team vehicle goes to Boo Bicycles and their Boo school bus. The best team mechanic goes to Jeremy Powers' personal mechanic, Tom Hopper, while the best team staff member who wears the clothing and hangs out around the tent but nobody actually knows what he does award goes to Chandler DeLinks. Now, moving on to the final awards, the big ones. The best team of the year. Tim and Ryan probably have the best 1-2 punch with Cannondale, prepared by Cyclocross World. I would say Boulder Junior Cycling, Red Zone, and Lionheart probably tie for the team that I would most like to ride for. But the best team of the year in North American cyclocross goes to Cal Giant Specialized. Not only did they dominate on the development level with their U23 squad, guys like Logan Owen, Yannick Ekman, Tobin Orton-Bland, Cody Kaiser, but on the women's side as well, cleaning up with Elle Anderson and Meredith Miller. And finally, your man and woman of the year of cyclocross in North America. First up, your woman of the year, obviously that one goes to Katie Compton. Just recently crowned your 10-time consecutive U.S. Cyclocross National Champion. She just wrapped up the World Cup overall and looking like more of a favorite than ever for the rainbow jersey in February. On the men's side, the King of Cross, the man of the year all season long, capped it off with a national championship this past weekend. That goes to Jeremy Powers. The best website of the year? Clearly you're on there right now. BehindTheBarriers.tv. Guys, thank you again for joining us this past weekend, the national championships. We went live. It was freaking awesome. I'm still reading through all the comments, all the feedback you guys had to say about it. And it right here, guys, it touches right there. It means a lot. Thank you for joining us, as always, all season long. And don't go anywhere. We're here all through January, all through the World Championships. Cyclocross season is still here. We hope you will stay as well. And we'll see you next time.